Hey, welcome back to the Glycogen Cycling channel. Man, it's been a little bit for sure. And I have so much content, that I need to sift through and edit and push out to YouTube. I mean, let's just get into the video and we'll talk about it. So this is the Ave Marie Crit. This was the second of 4 races. The first one I actually didn't go to. I think I had something going on that weekend. But we're here for the second one. And then the fourth one, we actually got kicked out of this course. So we had to change locations for the fourth one. But we'll get to that in a couple videos here. But let's just break down this race. So this is just like a practice series we decided to put together in Southwest Florida. Basically, it's a Waldo Fest. We have like 10 of us in the Waldo kits. So it's pretty much all of us just racing against each other. And then there's a couple of guys from the Southwest Florida Naples Velo team. It's those guys in the black and white and red, like right in front of me. They actually won the first race, and mostly because they have one guy who is just a beast of a sprinter. Like, you cannot take him to the line. So that's pretty much what the goal was in this race, is do not take him to the line. Try to get a breakaway established, make him work, and try to wear that guy out, because if you don't, he's not going to be... Like, you can't really beat him. At least I can't. And even some other guys who are really good sprinters were having a tough time matching him. So that was really the goal, is just get out in front, put some attacks down. And this is kind of where I started off, is I knew this guy in front, Justin's, he's strong, does a lot of USA crits. So we had something going, but obviously everyone's gonna mark us too. So if you look at the rear camera, everyone's right on our wheel pretty much already. But what's good is that guy who is so that guy who's right behind me, that's the guy that won the first race, a good sprinter. So we made him do a little bit of work, but he knew this was a threatening move, so he wanted to be up here with us. But that's pretty much what the lap looks like, or the course. It's actually a pretty fun course. It's like just over a mile, maybe 1.3 miles or so. So it's kind of like a small circuit race, but this section up here is really fun with you got a couple quick turns. And then you have me going through the corner and overcooking it as always. So yeah, that's pretty much how the course looks. And again, goal was to get out in front of everyone and try to make these other guys work a little bit. So yeah, it's been so long since I've watched this, I kind of forget what happens. Normally I'm like, kind of like, okay, this happened here, and then this happened. So right now it's kind of just chilling. And then I kind of up here let this guy go a little bit. Tried to let him move go. And then kind of just like sat in like soft pedal almost. Coming up here in a second. But another thing to note in this race, so a couple days before this, I had my Garmin out on my mount. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this, but it like broke off the mount. Like the mount like didn't hold it in. I hit a couple bumps and then it just like flew out. And then it fell into the street. I was in the bike lane and it fell into the street, and this car came and just ran it over. So I didn't have a Garmin out in front, but I had an old Garmin 810 where the clips are broken off the back. And I made a video on how to fix that. But that mount that I actually had where I fixed it, that broke off. So I have this Garmin, but I can't attach it anywhere. So it's in my back pocket, which is how I have power and speed and all this. Sorry to make this such a long-winded answer, but you guys can see it, but in the time being in this race, I couldn't see anything. So I'm just running off feel. And, you know, after racing with power and like, you know, seeing how long is left in the race, it really helps when you're in a breakaway to actually have that data. Just gives you that little bit more of an advantage, lets you push a little bit harder knowing what your numbers are. And I really didn't know that it affected that much until I started racing without it. I don't realize like how much I actually look at that stuff during a race, but apparently I do. So another thing is my front camera like cut out halfway through this, so you're gonna have to deal with the rear camera for the rest of this. But we're, you know, maybe halfway through this race at this point, and everyone kind of sits up at this point. So this is where I decided to just launch it. And I was actually hoping like one or two guys would come with me, but they didn't. I just tacked them too good, I think. But basically shut down that one guy that was out in front because I knew he was coming back at some point. So I thought everyone's going to start to sit up. Now's the time to go if I'm going to go. So I got this move established, and you can see I put a pretty good gap into these guys, you know, in a very short time period. And again, I don't have a power meter, or I don't have a computer running, so I can't see my power. So it's hard to pace yourself. You know, when you're doing an effort, you know, okay, I can hold 350 watts for 30 minutes. And if you don't have that number staring you in the face, it's really hard to actually hold that. You need to, it's just like, I don't know, it just gives you that little extra edge to know, okay, this is the number I have to hold. I know I can hold this. So if I dip below this, I need to start pushing a little bit harder. Whereas if you don't have that in front of you, you kind of are like, oh, I'm gassed, I can't go harder. But in reality, you've done that number before, so you can go a little bit harder. So you can see I got this gap established, and I was off the front for a good bit here, like a number of laps just out front by myself. And for these first couple laps, like my power was actually pretty good. I didn't look at it until, you know, just now editing this video. And ideally, I probably should have not gone as hard in the beginning. I was holding, you know, good 400 something. And then as we fast forward here, you can kind of see my numbers are dipping into the twos a little bit. Majority of the time is still in the threes, but towards the end of this little bit here, you can see it's a lot of twos. And that's, you know, that's like not great. So end up getting caught here with like 3 laps to go. And if we pause right here, you can see these are the guys to watch out for. We have this guy in the black, the Naples Velo rider. He's the one that won the first race. He's the good sprinter. And then right behind him, we have Nico, and he finished 3rd in the first race. So these guys are really fighting for points. And again, first place gets 18 points, second gets 13, third gets 10, fourth gets 8, fifth gets 6 points, and then sixth gets 4 points. And then obviously whoever wins at the end of the 4 races is going to win the overall. So a little fun series we had going on. And then this guy in Naples Velo actually was buying everyone prizes for the, you know, whoever won each day. So that was pretty nice of him to do. Give you a little something. I think it was just like a tool and then some lube. So not bad for a good, fun, free race. And so here is the final lap. Again, I'm trying to get separation because, again, you see those two guys, and this is where my Nico kind of made a mistake. We were kind of teaming up here, and what I would have liked to see him do is not jump on me so quickly, because he kind of gave that guy a free ride, and then we end up finishing. That other guy won, Nico got second, and I end up finishing third. So not ideal, but if we reverse this footage, I just want to go back and show you kind of what happened and what Nico should have done differently here. So if we stop the camera here, you can see I'm making a move and we have the sprinter who's back behind Nico. If Nico just sat up a little bit and forced him to come around, then Nico wouldn't have had to close this gap, and that sprinter would have had to close the gap, use some energy to get up to me, and Nico would have also gained a free lead out. So ideally, that's what should have happened in that last little bit there. But, you know, when your heart rate's at 190 or maxed out, you know, zone 7, you got to kind of just go with what your gut is. And in that moment, he thought he should jump on me. But that's kind of the difference between winning and losing sometimes, is just waiting that extra second, letting someone else come around you that you know has needs to be there. But that's racing. That's why we practice and go over these videos. So you can kind of see what you should do in different scenarios. And the more you look at it, the more you study and more you train, just like any professional athlete, they look at tape footage. And when you do that, you can slightly get better over time. Maybe, unless you're me for some reason, you don't get better over time. But that's the video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, I have so much content to get to you guys, and we're going to first do all of these Ave Marie series. So we got 2 more videos coming up in this series, so you can see how the rest played out. And that's that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers, and I will see you in the next video.